Test 1 2. I'm making this video. As I said, I did another video a couple days ago, but I didn't post it because I didn't really like how it was. I was outside. I'm just testing out the new vocal booth. My father and I, we built a full soundproof studio down in my basement a couple years ago for whenever I was going to start my own business and become a music engineer and just record vocals, doing R&B and hip-hop vocals and shit, but it never actually worked out that way. So now I'm using it for my YouTube channel, and this video series that I'm going to start out is going to be prepping. I'm going to do, I believe, 3 parts first, and then if I start getting a lot of views and if people like it, then I'll do, maybe 2 more parts or 3 more parts, however far I have to go, and if people start leaving comments about, hey, you should do a video about this, about that, I'll just keep it going. I'm doing this because a lot of the channels, shout outs to Marfugal News, Adam, my boy, John X Army. I don't really know John the way I know Marf, but shouts anyway, because he's doing it big. He's trying to get the alarm out. Richie from Boston, man, he's no joke. He's a fantastic YouTuber, always bringing the heat on every video that he brings, just trying to educate people and get them to wake up. Now, this video, first off, I'm just going to start out with the basics of, first and foremost, if everybody hasn't seen the videos floating around YouTube in the past 2 days, 3 days, check out the videos of the Department of Homeland Security and the DIHC, I believe it's that, or NIHC, I apologize. It's DHS, but DHS had the NIHC, which Trump requested them to do a report on how prepared the United States is for some type of cyber attack or EMP disaster to the United States, how prepared we'd be. And I haven't actually gotten to read the report, but maybe a page or 2. I'm going to actually sit down tonight and do it. But basically to say, we are not looking too good at all. A lot of Americans don't think that they need to prep. They don't feel like anything's ever going to happen to them. If you're like my wife and probably like a lot of other people's significant others, when you try to broach the subject, they just think you're crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're weird, or they live by the philosophy of, oh, you don't have to worry about that. Nothing like that will ever happen around here. We live in a podunk, small community. Who would want to attack us? Or, the other one I love, which my wife is like that, but my wife is also like, if it doesn't concern me and mine and my realm of my life and my vicinity or my family, then I don't give a shit about it. And, you try to tell them well, someday it could affect you and your reality. And do you really want to get caught like all the other sheep, where you only have 2 days worth of food in your house and all the banks have seized up all the money and you can't go and get any money out of the bank, so therefore you can't go to the stores and you can't buy anything to try to, save you and your family, especially if you have kids? What are you going to do then, people? Yeah, that's when people start resorting to violence. You go to the store and you might have money and you're coming out of there with a cartload full of shit. Some other person might be sitting in their car freaking out because they just lost everything and they don't have anything in their bank. So they see you and they got themselves a gun and 2 other people in the car, and they say, hey, how about we go rob that person over there for their goods? So you have to look ahead. Now, first and foremost, this report doesn't have this in it, but I remember seeing a similar report a couple months ago. I believe it was Lisa Haven. Yeah, big shout outs to Lisa Haven as well. I mean, there's so many others. I'm sorry if I missed you. But there was another report saying that the United States literally has about 70 days 70 days worth of supplies. And that's to sustain the whole United States, all 300 million of us, at 2 meals a day. I think it was either 2 meals or 3 meals a day. 70 days worth of food, y'all, in the reserves. And that's it. Then you're done. If this doesn't scare you, it should. You need, what this report states is, you need at least 6 months worth of food and water and a way to protect it. If you're a felon or you have felonies on your record, and you can't get a gun, do what John X. Army does, man. He's got an alarm system. He's got big-ass dogs. He's got, crossbow. You can protect yourself with a crossbow, and, if anything, it's silent. You don't have to worry about people hearing the shots. Now, you're also going to need, which a lot of people overlook, like a watch, a simple watch. So many people overlook. Like, what do I need a watch for? I have a watch that if an EMP would go off or a cyber attack would happen, this never stops. It's also got a compass on the back end here. It's got military time, so you'll always know what, time and when the military's doing shit. If ever they launch a counterattack, if you're on the shortwave radio and you hear, things being talked about on a shortwave, but we'll get into that some other time. You need a watch. You're not going to be able to tell time anymore unless you're really good at looking at the sun, like most survivalists are that have been doing it for years, that they can look at the sun and they can tell just what time of day it is, sorry. Another thing overlooked is books. I cannot stress it enough. Books. Books are the essential thing. People have to understand that in an SHTF situation, you are not going to have access to anything. If you don't know how to, garden, you don't know how to do engineering. Like, here, I have a little list. Just certain books off the top of my head that I could think of that were super important. Obviously, if the world goes to shit and you're one of the only, last few hundreds of thousands of people left, you're going to want some type of book that has some type of history. The real history. Not the Common Core history bullshit that they're teaching our kids in schools that have half the history cut out. No. The old-time history books. If you can get a book that has, America's historical documents in it, if we're ever able to get out of the jam that we're in and the powers that be actually, let us be and have a change of heart somewhere down the road, you might be the only person that has a copy of that. Math. I know, people are like, what the hell you need a math book for? Well, math is to obviously teach your kids, to keep your mind sharp at, certain aspects of if you need to build stuff. You need to teach your kids how to build, how to measure things out, how to read a tape measure, things like that, etc., etc. You're going to need books on electrical, carpentry. I for one, I don't know how to build a house. I don't know about y'all. I don't know how to build a house. I don't know how to wire lighting. You'll electrocute your ass really freaking fast. You try to climb up there without not knowing what you're doing and try to light something up. Or you'll light the place that you're trying to fix on fire. Then what are you going to do? Nothing. Plumbing, gardening, etc., etc. Basically anything you can get your hands on. Hell, I even went the route of kung fu, jiu-jitsu books. Just anything that you can carry. Now, books are heavy. Now, if you're in a FOB type of situation, forward operating base, you're keeping on the move and you're scavenging, obviously you can't carry books. You need to have some place that you can lay low or that you stash your shit in that you come back to. Now, a lot of people I know are going to, I guess, apparently think they're going to have the Walking Dead mentality, that once so many people are going to die that, you know, there's just going to be like developments of homes that are just completely scattered and not have anybody in it. So they think they're just going to have their pick of the litter of homes, and, you know, they're going to go into the basement and just hide a bunch of supplies and ammo and shit in the basement, and then do that strategically all around, you know, the state that they're in, or the states, wherever they're in, and then go back to it if they need it. Well, I mean, it sounds good in theory. I just don't see how real it's really going to work out, because eventually people are going to venture out and they're going to look for supplies. And if somebody stumbles upon your shit, you know, then it's going to get taken. But, you know, I digress. Hey, more power to you. If that seems like a good idea, I mean, hell, do it. Any way to survive, y'all. Any way to survive. It's eat or be eaten, you know? Damn, alright, that was my fault. Everybody had to pause the video quick. I'm starting to get a little hot. Being down here in a closed space, and like I said, it's all soundproofed and everything. The soundproofing is under under this. It might not look the best, but believe me, you can't hear nothing. Anyway, where was I? Seeds. Obviously, everybody knows seeds is a big must. Water. Now, a lot of people, I know I've said this in videos before. I've got a lot of new subscribers, so they might not have watched the previous videos. But I'm like, y'all, I'm just a normal ass, everyday American. I live off of a one family income. And it's hard, man. It's really hard to try to prep. So what I personally do is every time that we go to the grocery store, I make it a point to look at water, whatever's on sale. Now, I mean, I do check, believe me, like Deer Park and any of the dollar store brands. And a couple of other ones that like aren't around my area are really high in fluoride. So I usually try to stick around with like the Aquafina. The Fiji, a lot of people say that like Fiji water really helps decontaminate like your body or some shit like that. I don't really know how, because it's just water, but whatever. So anytime it's on sale, I try to just pick up an extra case, or even if it's not on sale, like that is your one sure way to prep. Because after a while, hell, you'll come out, you know, you'll go down to wherever you are and you'll be like, damn, I got 20 cases of water sitting here. And what's the rule? 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water. So if you got water, you're good. Yeah, you might be hungry as hell, but with water, you'll be good. Shit, I'm at 13 minutes already. I really wasn't trying to make it like super long, but we gotta get going. Okay, so sand. If you can get sand and rocks, leaves, anything like that, obviously, you know, you can make yourself a makeshift water filtration. Like if you can't get like some type, one of them little straws or anything like that, that is a surefire way to make water filtration. It's basically just using how the environment filters your water. I myself, I can't live without music, obviously. So, I mean, if you got an iPod, without electricity, obviously there's going to be no way to charge it unless you have some type of solar thing that you know, you hook up and will power your generators or something like that. Then you can charge it. But like an iPod, believe me, in the SHTF situation, having music, it's going to help your mood drastically, because that's the biggest thing in the SHTF situation. Boredom. When boredom sets in, and believe me, it's going to come to a freaking culture shock to a lot of you, especially the millennials, to the kids and the little kids that are just being grown up with their face inside a cell phone, an iPad, being in school, your face is in a TV, a cell phone, or an iPad 24/7, it is going to come to a straight up shock to your all's brains when the grid goes down and there's none of that. People will not know how to act. They will start going stir crazy and develop cabin fever. I mean, yeah, you can get outside and do shit, but again, if you're going to have to hide due to, whatever people, other American people that are going to be coming for your shit, or once all the Americans are stupid enough to fight each other, and then the UN comes invade us, or Russia or China or whoever the hell wants to try, you're going to have to stay calm and stay silent and have a plan. Like, we need to be fighting them out there. So that's why you need books. Again, you need books to read to keep yourself from going freaking stir crazy. If you can, gas masks. Gas masks are a must because obviously look at what they're doing. All the chemical aerosol. Yeah, my bad. I had like a brain. Chemical aerosol dispersions, aka chemtrails. They're just ramping them up like crazy. They're spraying so much in the atmosphere now, like it's not even funny. And that's just dropping on all of us. And you're going to need some type of gas mask to filter that shit out. Now, gas masks are expensive, but you gotta weigh what's most important to you. At the end, that's what you gotta do. If you have money to prep, you have to weigh your surroundings, the people around you, and you just have to survey what's important to you and your family. Now, real quick, it's on 17 minutes. Types of weaponry. One of these will do you wonders. A baton, straight up, regular ass baton, it will save you immensely. Because with a baton, a lot of people use these things offensively, and yes, they can be used offensively, but they're also great defensively. You can do, 50 things with one of these. So a baton is definitely something good to invest in. Different kind of knives. As many knives, I tell people, as many knives as you can get, as you can hold, because you're gonna need one with just a regular, normal blade, smooth blade, and then you're gonna need one with serrated, just for different things. Get yourself different sized knives. A nice big trench knife, a military knife. I got mine at an American Legion auction. Like, I got a World War II trench knife and a World War I trench knife. Bowie knives. You need all different sized knives because guns run out of ammo. That is the number one thing. Guns run out of ammo, and if you can't get ammo, how are you going to protect yourself? Knives are the best next option to go. They're easily concealable. Another tip I learned from Navy SEAL. Razor blade. If you have a razor blade, stick a razor blade in, something like, whether it be a piece of tape or like a Band-Aid patch. You know how the Band-Aids come in the little packs? Stick the razor blade right in that little pack and stick it down the side of your sneaker. Like, cut a hole on the top of your sneaker or the side of your sneaker, right where it arches around your heel. You slice right where the knitting is, and then you stuff it right down in there. It'll save your life someday, I guarantee it. Whether you are zip tied someday, or you're roped or taped up due to somebody actually getting through your defenses, or just people coming for nefarious purposes. Maybe they're rapists, maybe they're pedophiles, or maybe they're just soldiers that are again coming to kill. You are gonna have to have something like that, and believe me, it will save your life. Now, I'm at 20 minutes exactly. I'm going to end this right now. The next video, I'm going to get into, type of gloves you should have. We're going to get into the medical aspects of things, because you always need really good medical trauma kits, different things like that. I will show you a couple of my med kits that I made myself and that I've ordered. Because again, in the SHTF situation, you're not going to possibly have access to hospitals, doctors, surgeons. You're going to have to do it all yourself, perform the surgery on yourself, or God forbid, one of your family members. You're going to have to know how to do it. So everybody like this video. If you liked it, if you liked the information, give me a thumbs up. Comment. Like I said, leave comments that you want to on any other things you want me to talk about. Have yourselves a good rest of the night. I always end each video. Be kind to one another. Be kind to strangers. Love one another. Love thy neighbor. That is the way we beat the powers that be. All these evil, pedophile, crazy, just psychopath and sociopaths. It's love. You have to love one another. Love your family. Love your enemies. Be kind. Pay it forward to people. Do things nice for people, just out of the goodness of your heart. That is the way we get to God, and that is the way we get to Jesus Christ. And that is how you get your place in heaven, with faith through God and Jesus Christ, and loving one another, forgiving one another, and being true to one another and yourself. So, love you all. Merry Christmas. I'll see you in part 2. Peace. John Blaze. Till the end, I'm out.